What's going on YouTube? So I'm standing here in Texas next to a brand new 3-row SUV. This of course is the all new 2023 Toyota Sequoia. Now by this point you should have seen our full in-depth review of the Sequoia, but we also wanted to take a look at another version of the Sequoia besides for that top end capstone, because of course that is very, very expensive. So what I'm standing next to now is the SR5 with the TRD Sport package. This makes the Sequoia look very nice, very sporty, while also maintaining a pretty affordable price tag for the lineup. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in and see if this is the version of the Sequoia you should buy. Now taking a look at the exterior of this TRD Sport, I think this is one of the biggest reasons why you might want to buy this trim level, because it does have a really tough look, but also like a cool sporty vibe to it as well. That starts up here with the grille. So you'll notice it's all blacked out. We've got the full black bars that run through here. Like I mentioned in the intro, TRD Sport is a package added to the SR5 trim level. So you're going to keep kind of that look as the starting point, and then you're going to add from there. And as we come over to our headlights, this is a good place to take a look at. We have LED headlights, standard on all versions of Sequoia. You'll notice these are reflector LEDs because this is a lower end model. And also we have an incandescent turn signal, unlike the capstone, which had the cool LED dynamic turn signal. However, no matter what, you're still going to get the LED fog lamps down here at the bottom. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about our wheels. These, of course, as you can probably tell, are quite upgraded from the 18-inch silver alloys you get on the SR5. These are going to be 20-inch blacked out TRD alloy wheels, and I have to say they look really, really nice. I like kind of the matte black finish, and of course when you pair it with a lot of colors, but especially this lunar rock exterior, I think they really just pop. Now you do have the iForce Max powertrain. We'll talk about that more later on, but even basic versions of the Sequoia do get that. As we come over here to the mirrors, another thing that even basic versions get are fully loaded mirrors. I'm really happy to see that on board. So that means you have heating, you have power folding, you have auto dimming, and you have blind spot monitoring. And as we continue our tour along the side, you actually do get dedicated TRD Sport branding down here on the side of the door. You're also going to notice, again, some more black and sporty elements, including this black trim that runs across the door handle in place of chrome. Along the top, you do have black roof rails as well, but there is still a little bit of chrome pop in the way of these window surrounds as you go around the side. Speaking of the side, it is 208 inches long. This, of course, is the only way you can get the Sequoia. No long wheelbase version is offered at this time. And as we move on around to the rear design, I really like the way this TRD Sport model looks in the back. You have black accents throughout, so you have this piece right here. You also have really large, bold, and black Sequoia lettering, which I think really stands out and pops a lot. And we have some black trim around our tail lights. Now these are not the fanciest version of the tail lights, but they're still very, very nice. They're full LED. You have the LED accenting, LED turn signal indicator, as well as reverse light. You just missed the dynamic turn signal indicator. And you're still also going to get all the safety systems. Toyota's very good about that, giving you the full Safety Sense 2.5 package across every single version of the Sequoia. That includes your forward emergency braking, your lane keeping assist, your adaptive cruise control, and your auto high beam headlights. But anyways, guys, that's it for the frankly very nice looking exterior design. But now it's time for us to go ahead and hop inside, see what you get in there.
All right, guys, let's see what you get on the inside of this more value-oriented Sequoia. So as you can probably just tell by just looking inside, you're going to have a really nice cabin that's, I'd say, probably 85% the same as something like a Capstone, except for a lot less money. So let's go ahead and dig in. I'll give Drew a second to hop on in here so we can break down some of the individual features that you're going to get for this value-oriented SR5 TRD Sport. All right, so let's talk about the materials, because that is, of course, going to be a little bit of a downgrade for going with the SR5 package. So up here at the top, we are going to have hard touch plastic across the entire upper part. This material is just going to be a nice plastic. It does look like aluminum though, so I'm really not too bad about that. And then this whole area is still going to be a nice leatherette. You're just missing out on some stitching details that the fancier models would have. Down here in the center console, you have this whole area. This is all hard touch. This would be leather on the higher end models, but you do have a little fake stitching thing going through that. And then this armrest portion is also a nice leatherette. So honestly, the materials are still pretty solid, even for a base model. So that's pretty impressive. Now let's go ahead and talk about your seating materials. So as you can see, we have a really nice Softex leather seat through here. So this is going to be included when you go for a premium package on the SR5 that includes this. And I absolutely love the design. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but you have nice designs within the perforations, and it feels really, really nice. It feels just as comfortable as the Capstone as well. Now, in regards to other things, we do have push button start. That's going to be standard equipment. Going for the TRD Sport gets you the red push button start icon. And in addition to that push start, we also do have aluminum sport pedals for this TRD Sport model. And then coming up from that, let's take a look at your gauge cluster. This is going to be the same design that you're going to get on all of the Sequoias. So 12.3 inch digital gauge cluster design. You can arrange it in a lot of different configurations and ways. I like the way it looks. It's nice and high resolution. You're going to miss out on the head-up display though, so if that's really important to you, then you will have to go for a higher end model for that. The steering wheel is going to be really nicely leather wrapped. It has perforations on the outside edges. You also have this chrome piece going through here as well as all the way around it. Some piano black. These are your buttons for the safety systems. It does appear like you're also missing out on rain sensing wipers. Now, this particular model does have an optional heated steering wheel. That's a standalone option that you can get on this TRD Sport model. Now, as far as the storage going on here, you're going to have the same storage as you would in every other Sequoia. So if we open this up, ton of space in here. You got outlets, you got everything that you're going to need to haul along. You could literally put anything you want in there. We have cup holders right here. We do have a cover over top of that. This area is also some more storage. You are missing out on the wireless phone charging pad though, I am noticing, because the other ones would have a wireless phone charging pad right here. Now, I do want to mention this because this is a really impressive feature. When we put it into reverse, you'll notice that we have a standard 360-degree backup camera that takes up the full 14 inches, super high resolution backup camera as well. And I'm very pleasantly surprised to see that that is standard equipment on every single Sequoia. Now, putting it back into park, you will notice that we have a special TRD shifter with going for the TRD Sport model. Moving our way up here, you will see that we have heated seats. That is going to be standard equipment. And then we also do have 3-zone climate controls as standard equipment as well. As far as your audio system, this one's going to have an 8-speaker audio system. The higher end models, of course, get more premium systems. So if audio matters a lot to you, you might have to upgrade. But if the screen is not an area where you have to upgrade, because this has the 14-inch high resolution display. And this is, I cannot speak enough good things about this display. It runs absolutely awesome. You have wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto as well. It takes up the full screen. I mean, it's just really impressive when you get into this Sequoia, just how good this screen is. That's going to be included if you go for a premium package model. So it's not standard on the SR5, but you can get it optionally. And then coming up here, we have the rear camera system. To be honest with you guys, I don't really know if that's a standard feature on this or if that's just a pre-production thing, but according to our notes, this is required for the Platinum trim level. It is on this one though, so I don't know. Maybe later on you'll be able to tell us in the comment section. We are also going to have a power moonroof, and that is actually standard equipment on every single Sequoia model. Well, come on back here and join me in the rear area of the more basic SR5 TRD Sport Sequoia. Now, of course, you know the space isn't going to change depending on what trim level you get. So we're still going to have 39 inches of legroom, 38 inches of headroom. Lots of space, guys. I mean, I'm 5'9". This is the seating position I have it adjusted to for myself. I'm looking at like a 1.5 feet of space. So really, really impressive amount of space. You're probably curious about the seating configurations. That's going to be an area that changes. You don't have captain's chairs until you get to at least the platinum trim level. You might be able to option that on to the limited. I'm not exactly sure on that, but this particular model has the bench seating. So this is actually going to be 8 passenger seating. So if you need that extra seat, this is going to be good news for you, actually. Now, as far as in the center, we do have cup holders. We're also going to have our own climate controls down here, since 3-zone is standard on all the models. No heated rear seats, no ventilated rear seats. That's going to be included on Platinum and Capstone only. Here in the middle, we have USB Type A smart charging, USB Type C, and we're even going to keep the household style outlet. So I'm pleasantly surprised to see that they haven't deleted or eliminated any of those outlets, so you can keep everything charged up. No rear window sunshades. The materials are going to be hard touch back here, so that's a little bit disappointing. However, the armrest is nicely padded. Let's check out the third row. So in order to get back here, you fold that. It actually folds both seats at the same time. Then when we sit back here, we have one of the seats folded. But sitting back here, you're going to have the same elements as you would in any other Sequoia. So you have a lot of space, 33 inches of rear leg room. This seat is, of course, fixed, and this seat can slide forward and back 6 inches. So if you need the maximum amount of leg room, you can do that. So pretty impressive back here. Also, I want to point out, since we do have the premium package, that's going to include a power folding third row. What that also includes is the power reclining ability up here in the third row, so you can still recline your seats and everything, which is pretty nice for a more basic trim level of the Sequoia. Now, coming up to our tailgate, you can pop the glass independently, and also, since we have that premium package, we're going to have a power tailgate included. It is also going to be hands-free. Like I said, that is optional, so if you have a base SR5, it would be manually opening tailgate. Now, as far as the space is concerned, back here you're going to have around 11 cubic feet behind the third row. If you slide the seats forward behind the third row, you have 22 cubic feet. If you fold the seats down and you're behind the second row, you're looking at 49 cubic feet, and as a maximum, you're looking at 87 cubic feet. That does place it lower than the Tahoe, yes. It is also lower than the Expedition, so this is one of the smaller ones in the segment. That said, you do have an innovative floor solution, so you can really stack this however which way you want it. We also have a household style outlet even on the base one, and we're also going to have the power folding third row like I talked to you about earlier. That's going to be included as an option on this particular model. Alright guys, now it's made it to the part in the video that I'm sure you're really curious about, the pricing information as well as the powertrain information. So I'll make it real easy on you and start out with the pricing information. We do not have specifics on how much this TRD Sport package is going to cost additional over the regular SR5 model. We also don't have specifics on how much the premium package is going to cost on this SR5. Keep in mind, this model does have both of those packages on the base SR5 price tag. Now, the base SR5 is going to start at $58,000 and some change, plus you're also going to have to option on four-wheel drive if you want that for an additional $3,000. So you can kind of keep that in mind. If you wanted maybe a four-wheel drive with both of the packages plus destination, you'd probably be looking at around middle $60,000 price point if I had to guess on how much the packages cost. But like I've said, there's no official pricing yet, so that's just my best guess. Now, as far as the powertrain is concerned, like Drew alluded to at the beginning, we have the iForce Max hybrid powertrain. And that's because for the Sequoia, they are including that on every single trim level. So even the base SR5 is going to have the maximum engine that you can have on this vehicle. And it's a damn good one too. We have a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, and it's also paired to a battery, an electric motor, so you're going to have 437 horsepower total, and you're also going to have 583 pound-feet of torque, which, keep in mind, that is actually more powerful than what you're going to get in the optional engine on a Chevy Tahoe, the 6.2. It's has more horsepower and also over 100 pound-feet more torque. That does mean that you're going to have the same towing ability, so you're looking at 9,500 pounds for your towing. You're also going to have a 10-speed automatic transmission on board, like I mentioned, optional 4-wheel drive, standard 2-wheel drive, and then for fuel economy, we don't have those exact numbers yet, but we're looking at a rating on the Tundra of around 21 miles a gallon combined with this exact same powertrain, so we're hoping that that would be relatively similar for the Sequoia model.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're even going up a little bit of a hill. So with this Sequoia, I think one of the biggest and most important things to note about it is the fact that you have the iForce Max powertrain, the hybrid powertrain, standard equipment.
Yeah.
So unlike the Tundra, where you have the smaller, naturally, or 3.5 twin turbo without the hybrid system, this one is the best you can get, and it's standard on all the trims, including the SR5 base model. So that's certainly a very nice thing to see, and you get all of that power. 437 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque.
Yeah, and if you're keeping tabs on that, that is going to be more than even the upgraded engine in the Chevy Tahoe. So that's going to have 420 and 460, way more torque, almost over 100 pound-feet more torque, plus even more horsepower, ever so slightly. So this is a really impressive powertrain to have standard equipment. Also, one thing that we've been talking about just on our brief little drive here, we've been driving for about 20 minutes at this point, is that it has a nice burly tone to it. You would think with a V6 it might not have as satisfying of a tone as a big burly V8, which is a lot of people what they want. This actually has a nice tone to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly sound enhancement going on, but it's like one of those things, I don't mind sound enhancement.
Right.
When you make things sound better for me, I appreciate that. And when you put your foot down, it sounds like a V8.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about it.
This is really quick.
It pulls so hard.
Wow. Well, guys, that's going to wrap up our kind of detailed look at the 2023 Toyota Sequoia SR5 TRD Sport. We hope you enjoyed watching this. We wanted to show you all what you get if you don't pick that top-end $80,000 Sequoia model, because I know a lot of you all cannot afford that, and you want to see what you get on the more basic one. So we hope you found this helpful. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, we would really appreciate if you push that button down below. Also followed us on TikTok and Instagram, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.